Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, Orange Walk police investigate death of San Felipe resident. Belizean attorney and activist Audrey Matura in the hot seat tonight after she spits on the Guatemalan flag. And the thousands of students march in honor of Belize's independence. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, September 15th, 2023.
That'll be $50. Thank you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake.
How do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The Jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The Sleeping Giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5, and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe, be sure, know your money.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Police in Orange Walk are tonight investigating the death of a resident of San Felipe Village who passed away earlier this week. On Monday, September 11th, 26-year-old Jonathan Morales was admitted to the Northern Regional Hospital in an unconscious state. On Thursday, September 14th, Morales succumbed to injuries he had on his body, which were identified by medical personnel as burn injuries. At this time, police are awaiting a post-mortem examination on Morales' body to determine an exact cause of death while investigations continue. Belizean attorney and activist Audrey Matura is making headlines tonight after a video surfaced of her publicly spitting on the Guatemalan flag in what she declares as an act of protest. Matura, in the video's caption, voiced her resentment towards Guatemala for celebrating its independence in Belize, especially after an event she cited as disrespectful towards Belizeans at the Sarstoon on September 10, 2023. She posed a rhetorical question about the likelihood of Belizean politicians attending Guatemalan celebrations post this incident. Adding fuel to the fire, she called upon the Prime Minister of Belize to boycott Guatemalan festivities. Today, Minister of Education Honorable Francis Fonseca described Matura's behavior as unwelcoming.
I think we have diplomatic relations with Guatemala, obviously. So as an embassy, and they have every right to celebrate their Independence Day. No, I think these matters, obviously, we know our position, our legal position. There's a process that's underway through the International Court of Justice. We respect that process. So I don't think, we should get into, the back and forth with the Guatemalan embassy here in Belize. Just as we have an embassy in Guatemala, the Belize embassy in Guatemala, they celebrate Belize's Independence Day there every year. So Guatemala has the right, the Guatemalan embassy has the right. They've been doing it for many, many years, celebrating and inviting other Belizeans to participate and help them celebrate independence. We're not against Guatemala and against Guatemala's independence. What we are for is Belize's independence and Belize's sovereignty and Belize's territorial integrity. And that cannot be questioned. So I don't think we should engage in seeing ghosts where there are none. We should be confident in who we are and confident in the future of Belize.
And then she spit, or says she did, on the Guatemalan flag.
Yeah, I don't think that is necessary or acceptable. We should respect all people. We want everyone to respect Belize and respect our flag. And you get respect by respecting others.
Matura's action has received raised eyebrows here in Belize and Guatemala. Some Belizeans commend Matura for her audacious stance against perceived Guatemalan insolence, while others fear this may exacerbate the ties between the neighboring countries. After getting cancelled due to inclement weather in 2022, educational institutions from across Orange Walk Town came out with a vengeance this morning to put on a spectacular show for the 2023 school parade. This year's school rally saw over 5,000 students from 14 institutions braving the morning sun as they demonstrated their patriotism and love for Belize.
We had very good participation from all the schools. I think it was well organized. I mean, those are the comments that I've been getting, that it was well organized, that they were very small gaps. And of course, in a parade that is bound to happen, especially when you have children and you have majorettes who, of course, want to perform in front of, the audience and groups of people and so on. But overall, I think it went well. I have to commend the collaboration between the district center and the town council. We are really grateful to the town council for their unwavering support in everything, from the, helping us with setting up for the ceremony, the PA system, the traffic department at the town council, the transport department, the police, the BDF cadets, and last but not least, my district center staff. I was just, every time they decorate, and I'm just amazed by their skills and what they're able to do with the limited resources that we have. And obviously, I mean, we had very good participation from the schools. Like I said, I think the schools were, for the most part, also well organized. I have to applaud the schools because at 8:15, all schools were in order and ready to begin the ceremony. And that's why we said we have to start at 8:30 sharp, right? So I want to thank the ministers who were with us, Minister Cervantes and Minister Bernard, the mayor, of course. The mayor did the inspection of the guard. And of course, these ministers and the mayor and the councillors also accompanied us in the parade.
And of course, this year's parade, according to District Education Manager Carla Alvarez, was undoubtedly the best show in many years. Its success is attributed to a collaboration between various stakeholders in the community.
I know that most schools they practice. You know, we had told them we wanted them four abreast, and I think for the most part, that's what the schools did, the four abreast, because after all, it is a uniform parade, right? It's not a carnival. It's a uniform parade, and this is the opportunity that our schools have to showcase who they are and what they do, and all of that. I know that most schools they bring out their peer helpers, their student government. I saw all of that. And now we're starting to see also these drum corps. We're starting to see majorettes. And I think maybe a part of it is also because some of these schools are giving a previews of what they plan to do for the mayor's drum strong competition, which is going to happen September 29th. Yes, so that's about 2 weeks from now. Yes, so we had, when we add up the number of teachers and students only, so we're not counting anybody else, we had over 5,000 participants, right? Yes. So it's close to 5,000 students alone that participated. And of course we have teachers, we had 20 floats. Yes, in the parade, and of course, the district center staff paraded along with the mayor, the councillors, and also the ministers who were present. But I think it always warms my heart whenever we have parade that I feel like the entire town stops doing what their work, and they come outside to look at the parade. And so every year we try to make it bigger and better, and I think grander. For sure, I think this year's parade was one of the best that we've seen in a very long time.
Schools played an important role when it comes to the success of this year's display.
Schools should provide water for their students, so I'm hoping that all schools provided water. The schools would be the ones. One of the things that we can do, because at the district center we
This year's parade included a total of 14 schools, including 7 primary schools, 6 secondary institutions, as well as the district's only junior college. Now, while this year's school rally was an incredible show, there were some concerns being shared by parents of high schoolers, in particular, that the schools were not providing enough water for those who were part of the rally. We also asked the district education manager, Carla Alvarez, about these concerns. While an official report has not been made, Alvarez says the issue was noted, particularly since the number of students in the parade was significantly larger than other years. Each school, however, was responsible to ensure that their students were provided with enough water.
Schools should provide water for their students. So I'm hoping that all schools provided water for their students. And then we also had about 3 water stations, as far as I know. And then Zeta, they come out every year also, and they have their water station right in front of their establishment. We also had some donations, but definitely that is something that is always welcomed. So, the community can come out and help us with that, because right now in with this heat, one pouch of water or one bottled water is not enough for that entire route. One of the things that we can do, because at the district center, we had water stations. We had 3 water stations actually. But it could be that, the schools also have to increase the amount of water that they give to their students. Likewise, I've told them before, if you give out water, you also have to have persons who have the garbage bags to dispose of, these pouches, these bottles, and all of that, because we don't want to leave. I think that is one concern that the town council has had for a number of years. The garbage and the trash after the parade, and there might not be the manpower to clean it up as quickly as we would want. But it's definitely something to note, and definitely we can bring up the concern with the high school principals, and also for us at the DEC, maybe we need to include more water stations. But like I said, we do have water stations, but maybe it was not enough for the crowd, because this year I think is probably the largest crowd that we have seen. Like I said, we had more than 5,000 students alone, and for example, all the high schools brought out all their students. Technical alone is almost 900 students, right? So it was quite a big population.
In terms of schools prohibiting the use of sun protection like hats and umbrellas, Alvarez says that while the Education Center does not provide specific guidelines, schools are encouraged to allow for the use of these items.
The schools would be the ones to decide what they allow or don't allow, but I think with the heat that we have been experiencing, especially, during the morning, I think it would not be wise to make those kind of prohibitions, to say no caps or no umbrella. I saw a lot of students with umbrellas, a couple of them with caps. So, we don't, the DC does not necessarily dictate those guidelines, but we do encourage the principals to ensure that the children are protected, that they're hydrated, and all of that.
To view a full recap of today's children's rally, you can tune in to Channel 53 of Centaur Cable Network after the newscast. Children across the country are back in school hitting the books to ensure a good grade at the end of the school year. While that is a good thing, parents are saddled with the expenses of securing uniforms, shoes, school utensils, and school bags. And even though we are in week 2 of the new school year, some students still lack of those items. Bearing that in mind, the Rotary Club of Corozal executed its annual project that focuses on the area of basic education and literacy. Through this project, Rotarians were able to assist a number of students from the Corozal Nazarene Primary School.
Our back to school backpack drive was inspired by a desire to want to address a significant issue in Corozal, which is that many families cannot provide the financial assistance to their kids to go to school, especially in these times of going back to school. As you know, children need necessary school supplies. If they don't have them, that can hinder their education and their development. So we wanted to bridge that gap between the necessities and actually providing these tools for these children and empowering their young minds. The process began with a lot of extensive planning, especially chaired by our Executive Secretary, Ms. Connie Lopez. She was the one who was always looking about for the project. She coordinated all of the times, the meetings. She was the one who reached out to all the local businesses and schools, and even to other members of Rotary and Rotaract to get as much donations as possible. So through her efforts, it was that we were able to collaborate and get all of these resources.
As expected, each recipient was elated to have received the assistance. Coming up next, 8 Belizean artists set to take the stage tonight at the National Song Competition. Stay tuned.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Kikaka, por favor. Ida y vuelta.
54. Ese dinero es falso.
¿Falso?
Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad abantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de $20, $10, $5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
The Orange Walk Town Council presents the biggest rock show of the year, Saturday, September 16th at 8 p.m. on the Hypersounds Mega Stage on Arthur Street. 4 local bands, Zero Discipline, Abraxas, Legend, and back on the stage after 18 years, Some Dudes. Special presentations by Bronny, a tribute to Mr. P by an all-star local band. Invited band coming all the way from Mexico City. Brought to you by Wild Dog Food, the veteran band, Zach Soul. There is rock for everyone and you don't want to miss it. Saturday, September 16th, starting at 8 p.m. on Arthur Street. Sponsored by Wild Dog Food, Hyper Sounds, Digi1, Hotel de la Fuente, Caribbean Rums, Belikin Stove, Nahil Mayab, Dinner House, The Food Court, Tan's Pizza, Lamanay Riverside Retreat, Sonprat, and Brimit, Belize.
With Express Plus, you can stream on the go or stream at home. Stream the latest movies, telenovelas, series, anime, or music videos from your favorite local artists. Sign up now with Centaur's Express Plus.
Today, all across Belize, primary schools paraded through the streets of their communities, be it in the cities, towns, or villages. In the old capital, students, as the rest across the jewel, honored Belize under the theme Hope Ignited, Hands United, Vision Renewed, Belize at 42. In Belize, Minister of Education Francis Fonseca formed a part of the large spectating group and took the opportunity to salute all students as he spoke to the media.
It's one of the most beautiful things we see every year. We get to experience it. We feel the energy and passion and love from these young people. it's fantastic. It's one of the best things I enjoy. I was telling the CEO, it's one of the greatest things I enjoy about being the Minister of Education, getting the opportunity to participate in events like this. It's all about love for Belize. It's all about our young people understanding and appreciating that they are proud Belizeans, and it gives us an opportunity to celebrate them. So it's a fantastic, fantastic day, and the same thing is happening all across the country. It's wonderful. I've gotten pictures from all over the country. Kids energized and very happy, and loudly and proudly proclaiming their love for Belize.
Your CEO tells me this is the most you've danced.
The most she has seen me dance.
So, Minister, this year too, they have incorporated a happy birthday for Belize at the children's rally, which I haven't seen before.
Yeah, no, the district center thought it would be very nice to have cupcakes and light a candle and celebrate and sing happy birthday 42. We counted down 42 years for Belize. So I think that was a wonderful addition to the program this morning.
But not everyone was happy with the date selected for this year's school parade. In the West, the Benke BNTU branch opted not to parade today. Why? Well, coincidentally, September 15th is the Independence Day of our Central American neighbors, including Guatemala, which maintains a territorial claim on Belize at the International Court of Justice, ICJ. The Benque branch of the BNTU had released a letter indicating that due to the date, schools in Benque would march on September 20th instead, in protest of marching on Guatemala's Day of Independence. As expected, that did not sit well with Minister Fonseca, and today he gave his perspective on the move by the Benque BNTU.
You said that you've gotten pictures from all over. Did Benque march today?
Benque, I haven't seen any yet, but I am told that there was a march in Benque. Yeah.
Okay, so then they didn't abide by what the BNTU.
Well, that was one school. Yeah, really, it had come down to one school, Mopantec, kind of taking a stand. But my understanding is, as I said, I haven't seen any official pictures yet from Benque. But my understanding is that other schools carried out the official ceremonies.
And you've spoken about repercussions. What repercussions would schools face in such an instance?
And we're celebrating today. We're having a great day today. We don't want to, no negative vibes today. Next week, this Chief Education Officer will deal with that.
Cabinet has approved to develop a people-centric conservation agenda for Belize's blue space. This exciting new initiative will be implemented through a program called Resilient Bold Belize, a project for finance permanence for Belize's marine and coastal areas. This agenda will include a framework consisting of 3 key commitments for marine and coastal conservation. Triple the full protection of the coral reef from 7 to 20% to identify the most advantageous places to increase coral reef protection. This can deliver further food and livelihood security for Belizeans, as well as to grow the blue economy. Designate the remainder of Belize's 30 by 30 protection pledge in areas that will support the highest biodiversity outcomes. Belize has already legally protected 20.3% of its total ocean space under the Blue Bond Agreement. Belize will work with partners and the local stakeholders via a science-driven process to make the right decisions for the nation's people and environment. Secure domestic and international funding against a cost analysis to make Belize's vast marine protected area system among the best managed in the world, and seek innovative funding to increase revenue from key sectors in Belize that benefit from the country's natural wonders, and seek the support of international partners. During their meeting on Tuesday, cabinet ministers were also updated on the ongoing International Monetary Fund (IMF) staff visit. Recognizing the continuous outperformance of the Belizean economy beyond IMF's projection at the IMF's request, Minister Koi spoke on the ongoing transformation of the economy. This includes the emergence of the business process outsourcing BPO sector as a material economic sector now employing over 8,000 persons, generating tens of millions in foreign exchange, and serving as a part of the impetus for the construction boom. This also includes the rebound and transformation of the tourism economy, where tourists are staying longer and spending more. Along with the BPO sector, this is fueling a boom in wholesale and retail services. This transformation also includes the growing significance of self-employed persons and small businesses, MSMEs, as the entrepreneurial spirit of the Belizean people and is nurtured by government's investor-friendly and pro-MSME policies. The National Song Competition is an annual event that sees many new and seasoned artists give it their best shot to take home the Big W. This year there are 8 finalists and they are all set to take center stage in Belize City tonight. The grand prize, $20,000 cash, and only one of the participants will take that amount home. Acting Prime Minister Francis Fonseca gave us a rundown of what to expect.
Tonight we have I'll be there tonight. We have a big show at the Bliss. It's going to be a difficult job for those judges. I've had an opportunity to listen to the songs, the 8 finalists. Yeah, I understand it was very difficult to get down to those final 8. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I invite Belizeans to come out tonight. I think it's going to be a great show, and let's see who wins.
And how was the decision made this year to set aside 20,000? Like, I don't think that's ever happened, and it's huge.
Yeah, because I think, all of us at the National Celebrations Commission feel that we have to value our artists, and we have to, we can't keep shortchanging our artists. They put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of creativity into these efforts, creating these songs. We have to reward them. We have to reward them properly. So, it's a good start, and we all felt strongly that we should have a good prize for them this year.
Earlier today, Prime Minister John Braseno departed to New York with a delegation to attend the 2023 SDG Summit. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Summit of World Leaders will be held from September 18th to the 19th. Prime Minister John Braseno and his delegation will participate in various events, including one where the PM will be the keynote speaker, addressing topics such as the Blue Bond and the successful restructuring of the national debt in Belize. The PM is scheduled to return to Belize on September 28th. In the meanwhile, Honorable Francis Fonseca, Minister of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, holds over as the acting Prime Minister of Belize. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, September 18th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe from all of us here at CTV3 News. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.